Hello and welcome to the spring update from Medway Peninsula. In this update, we'll just have a look at how I'm getting on with changing the buildings around the station and the industrial area. A couple of new projects I'm starting, some new arrivals to Medway, and how I've dipped my toe in the new Hornby Bluetooth HMDCC. So grab a cuppa and sit down and enjoy the latest update. Oh, hello everyone, and as always, I hope you're well. It's been a little while since the last video. As I mentioned in previous ones, the weather down here in Kent has been pretty damn bad. Lots of rain and being quite chilly, which hasn't made it conducive for getting into the garage. But I haven't been idle. I've been looking, as I mentioned again in the last couple of videos, areas where I think there should be improvement. So as you'll see a little bit further on in the video, a lot of work has been done on the industrial area and the start over on the station area. Now, for part of it, I have got quite something I think is quite exciting, and I'll let you know as that moves on. As I mentioned, it's not easy in the winter when you're out in the garage. The little oil-filled heater I've got does work well for keeping the frost off, so I haven't had issues with locos, but you can't stay in there for too long. But we're now into April. Both the temperature and the length of light is improving, so we're ready to go forward. So one thing I would say is, yeah, my videos have been sporadic to say the least, but we haven't lost any members and we've gained some as well. So for all you existing folks, thanks for staying with us. It really is most appreciated. And for the new folks, welcome aboard, and I hope you'll stay with us. Little thing as well that had happened, I do post quite a bit on Facebook, and there's a chap, Brian, who's based over in the States, used to be a Medway guy and worked in Chatham Dockyard. So he very kindly watches my Facebook posts and comments on them. And he mentioned to me that he was coming over, I think it was for his granddaughter's wedding, and staying with his sister in Cuxton, which is about 10 minutes down the road to me, and said he wouldn't mind, if possible, to come and have a look at the layout. So I said, Brian, you're very welcome. If you're over for a little while, we could fix it up on a day that I'm not working. And if it also happened to be either a Tuesday or a Friday evening, then I'd show him the club layout. So we did. Brian came over. We had a very pleasant hour or so in the garage, and then we popped over to the Chatham Model Railway Club, and we had a couple of nice hours there as well. And I think Brian was impressed with the size of the layout and was chatting to a few people and has got some ideas. So Brian, if you happen to watch this one, then it was a pleasure having you over, and anytime you're back in the UK, then you're welcome to come over again. So that was really nice. So as I mentioned, we're moving on. We've got some new additions, so grab yourself a cuppa and take a look. New arrivals to Medway. There's a couple. One is the Dapol Class 59 in the ARC livery, and I'll just show a little video a bit later of it on the rolling road. Reason I got this, I had two 59s in the Yeoman livery, one Lima, one Hornby, and the Hornby one runs well, and it was DCC ready, and I've got my sound decoder in that. The other one was a Lima version, and although it was converted, as I found sometimes they don't become great runners. And I had in the Arc yellow livery, again, a Lima DCC converted. So I saw the reviews of the Class 59s from Daypol, and they've got some really good ones. And I thought that would look nice on the layout. So to help fund it, I've sold the Lima Yeoman liveried version and got the new Daypol Arc livery. As I'll mention, I am toying with the idea of going sound, and I think in this occasion, because of the lighting functions, I'll probably go down the route of getting a sound decoder from Roads and Rails, similar to what a setup to what Peter Dixon got with he had 2 megabass speakers. I'm thinking I'll probably need one and maybe invest in a belt and braces stay alive. So have a little look at the video on that one. And then also I got a Class 66 in the Fastline livery. Now that will go nicely with my Class 56 that's also in the Fastline livery and with the Fastline hoppers I've got. So they're the purchases that are new to Medway. Okay, so let's have a look at the Daypol Class 59 in the Arc livery. So I've just got it on the rolling road, and you can actually see that the axle boxes are rotating, and they don't seem to cause any wobble. This is obviously only on the DCC, so the very basic lighting options. And if we go around, you can see that the cab lights, front lights are working. Let's get a little closer in. And then if we move around the back, you'll be able to see that the rear lights are working. So this will be chipped. Yet to decide, do I put sound in it or not? I've already got a Daypol Imperium decoder, and I'm considering putting that in, or do I bite the bullet and go for sound and then get the by Roads and Rail what Peter Dixon put in, or would a Hornby Class 66 new HM7000 decoder fit? We'll see. At the moment, very pleased and running nicely. When the channel tunnel was being constructed, the linings for the channel tunnel were made into segments on the Isle of Grain, and these were taken by rail to Shakespeare Cliff, which is where the channel tunnel was being built. And I saw a couple of pictures of these, and they were pulled by Class 33s. And I'll put a couple of pictures up so you know what I'm talking about. And I thought, oh, that will do nicely for the layout from the Isle of Grain down the 100 of Who line, I think into Who Junction, and then back down the line to Shakespeare Cliff down on the Kent coast. And looking at the pictures, the wagons they use seem very similar to PTA wagons, the tipplers. And they have a TML logo on them. And I found that Railtrack do said logos. So I thought this wouldn't be too bad and quite interesting to produce. So I spoke to Gary at First Layer Printing, who does my 3D printing stuff. Told him what I wanted. He sent me a little prototype. Again, I'll put the pictures up, and it was um, would fit nicely into the tippler wagon. So as you can see, um, this is sort of the first view. They would just need to be painted in a concrete style paint, and I think that would make quite a nice, interesting train. So that's what's on the go at the moment. Also, I'll put up a couple of pictures of the Class 92 Acura Scout. Now, after speaking to Stuart at the club, um, he did say that it was a little bit tricky getting the cab out to be able to put the crew in, and the crew I got from Acura Scout, which are Module U figures that are actually made in coloured 3D resin, so there's no painting required. So Stuart very kindly put those in for me, and here are a couple of pictures of them on the club layout with the cab lighting. Okay, so here we are in the garage, and as I mentioned in the previous video, this area was also an area I wasn't too happy with. Had a couple of suggestions on what to do, and Lee Wall, as usual, came up with a good suggestion and said that perhaps to break up from the block of flats, I put a car park in there. Now this has sort of made me think, so I had an idea, spoke to a chap called Nick Dow, who provides buildings, and I'll show you what we've come up with. Okay, so this is what we've come up with. Nick has provided me with an Odeon, a Travelodge with some shops below it. We've got a multi-storey car park, and then a parade of shops, and I've just got room, so just there, to get another one of those double frontage shops in, where we've got Marks and Spencer's. So let's have an overview of that. Obviously these are not fixed in place, there's still room for wiggling about. I've got to have a natural break of some sort between the Odeon and a block of flats, maybe a walkway. Probably going to have to do something with that back scene and have it so that it blends in with the other one. But overall, I'm quite pleased with that. If anybody's got any suggestions on sort of manoeuvring them or what we can do for gaps, I'm just thinking that perhaps a bigger gap between the Travelodge and the car park, just spread it out a little bit, maybe again a walkway there. Obviously these have got to be leveled up, but you know, as a start, I am pleased, and I do think it looks better than the other one, what was there before. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Nick has already, also rather, done me some industrial buildings. Again, they're just temporarily put in place and will be joined properly, but as you see, they are a better profile than the flat ones that were there before me and that were annoying me. Just need to fill that gap, and spray over here and what have you. But yeah, I think if we come down lower, we've got quite a nice view. I'll join that, and those little gaps will be some drain pipes filled in with some drain pipes. So we're we're fine there. But overall, yeah, I'm pleased with what Nick's done. Those of you who've been following me for a while will know that I use Hornby TTS decoders in quite a few of my locals. Now, a cost of around about £50, I think they're very good value, probably around about half the price of a Locksound Zimo decoder. Now, it's fair to say you can't compare apples and pears, and that the TTS decoder with only two sounds to be played at the same time and not the best of speakers can't really compete with, as I say, a Locksound or a Zimo. But for my sort of unsophisticated ears, they do for me. I get Robert Boomerang Junction to change the speaker, and I think you get decent sound quality. And to be honest with you, I've had quite good feedback. Now, as I mentioned before, perhaps the quality isn't that great. I've had a couple of them that have failed, and I've got Zimos and Locksounds, and they haven't failed at all. So, okay, you get what you pay for, but I am happy with them. So I was quite interested when the Hornby DC system new systems come out. I think the HM7000. Now I was looking at control via my phone or a tablet. I think it makes it easier, and on the club they use it, and especially on a big layout like theirs, you can wander around and be controlling your locos. What also interested me was that you weren't tied to the app. So you could operate it like I do the TTS decoders and just pop it into your loco, program it on the mains, download from the app the sound file you wanted, and happily control it via my NCE power cab. And so I thought, well, why not? Let's have a look. And so I bought the HM-DCC Bluetooth decoder in 8-pin version. And I also bought, because I've noticed a couple of things. My track, as everybody knows, isn't the greatest, and there are a couple of little gaps. And sometimes locos struggle and stall over that little gap. So I've gone for the R7377, the power bank, which is a little stair life. Now, the good thing with these decoders is that a speaker is included, a little sugar cube with a selection of housings. And it has one of those little micro switches that you can just plug into the decoder, no soldering. Stay alive. If I show you again, you can possibly see that has a micro socket as well, or plug and socket as well. No soldering required. So that really suits me. So I thought, well, let's give it a go. Now that cost me £65 for the decoder, $15.99 for the Stay Alive. Now I get a 10% discount. I use Mel's Blue Light discount code, so that brings it down to, I think, knock 10% off. So for about £65, I've got the decoder and the Stay Alive, which I think is great value. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into one of my DCC ready Hornby locos, and then we'll see how I got on. Okay, let's have a look, see what you get in the box. So first of all, I've taken out is the quick start guide, which, to be honest with you, I've had a quick look through and seems pretty darn straightforward. For the speaker, and here is the I can show that to you. The little sugar cube speaker, which again has got, as you can see there, that nice micro plug. And then I think using their Airfix tooling, here is a sprue of different speaker housings. Now they do say, if possible, use the biggest housing that is going to fit inside your loco. Probably the bigger the housing, the better the sound quality. And here is the speaker itself. So this is the 8-pin version. See, you can just see the usual 8-pin socket and the decoder itself, and it seems just a little larger than the old TTS decoder, and I think that may be because of the Bluetooth antenna. So that's what you get in the box, and as I mentioned before, I've got the Stay Alive to go in as well. So yeah, we'll give it a try. So here we go. I've got the sound decoder working. Now I wanted the class 73 sound file to go in to this class 73, but I've just failed to get it to load. George at Hornby has been very helpful, but I just think that perhaps the sound file has either got an issue or maybe it's just too big. So I tried the small one, which is a class 56, and that has loaded quite quickly and without a problem. To be honest with you, I don't really like to fiddle around with it too much, so I'm going to leave it in here, and if the 73 issue does solve itself, then I'll have another attempt at uploading it. But my initial thoughts are sound quality is much better than a TTS, probably because of the quality of the sugar cube speaker and the holders. Control is good. What I do love is the function where you've got an active brake. You can change CVs from the app. It really is intuitive. So yeah, pleased with it. And yeah, I'll certainly be getting some more of that. There we are. That's the latest from Medway. Now, there will be some more regular videos, I think, coming up, because things will be progressing. I must admit, I've got a list of things to do, not only on the layout, but for the new stock projects as well. I'm looking to get all the steamers with crew and real coal in, so lots to do. And as I mentioned before, now the weather's improved, we should really be able to get as it were stuck in. So it just leaves me to say once again, thank you for everybody for taking time for watching, and for making some very nice comments as well. Keep an eye open for me on Facebook, because you do get more regular videos there. And all I can say is, everybody, please keep safe, and of course, happy modelling.